Welcome back to the ... hello everyone, my name is Lord Xaydam, and my god, last episode, I'm sweating. Never before has my face been so flushed. ... It felt like hours when I finally regained consciousness, and yet the first thing I noticed when I started to wake up was something soft was resting against me. Okay. For a moment I was curious about what caused the soft sensation, but little did I expect my question should have been phrased differently. Who was causing that soft sensation? Oh. Okay. Roll with it! Machiko! I whispered softly, my voice easily betraying my surprised thoughts at seeing the fox girl resting beside me. Oh! You lucky half-plug! Of course it didn't help that she was stark naked, my gaze drifting along her features. I didn't really put much thought into it until now, but she was really beautiful. It took her naked body to figure that out, really? Well, from what, yeah, you know. Careful now. Careful now. Maybe this is a chance. I had been a little bit curious about something till now, and deciding to get the answer I was seeking, I lightly lifted my hand toward her head, my fingertips carefully caressing along her ears. Oh, to see if they're real. To my surprise, the fur on them was real. What made me able to think of only one explanation. So she's a real kitsune. And yet, while I was looking down at how peaceful she was sleeping, it was difficult for me to imagine she had been one of those troublemakers terrorizing the nearby village with their pranks. I know! She almost looked like just an incredibly cute girl. A naked one at that also. At the thoughts of her lack of clothes, my cheeks flushed up into a bright red colour. No, Chisuri, not again. Is she dreaming? Feeling kind of amused, I was about to poke her cheek gently. But the sound of footsteps made me quickly draw back my hand. Ah, Takahiro, you're awake. Shh, don't wake Oni-sama. She's a light sleeper, and she's been super tired lately. Sure, but Mako-chan, care to explain why your sister is sleeping to me without clothes on? Hehe, you two looked super cute cuddling together earlier. Oni-sama said that you said about it being important to take off clothes, so she took hers off, and then we took yours off, and then she was trying to keep you both warm by getting under the covers and laying in the sun. However, in the end, she fell asleep. You watched me just now? Yep, you were both sleeping so soundly, it was super adorable. I wanted to cuddle you both too, but only Sama told me off for cuddling her in her sleep before. I think I'd understand why she does look rather adorable when she's sleeping like that. Let's keep it that way for a bit. But I took a deep breath and asked, with my face red as a tomato. I was about to open my mouth to say something when suddenly Mako exclaimed cheerfully, "We brought you home to our mansion. Mansion? We brought you to a spare room because it gets a load of light. I was only watching you for a bit, then I got bored, so I went and made some soup. Oni-sama always makes me soup when I feel bad. Do you want some?" Sure. You're naked as well, man. Don't forget that most important fact. Sure, I could go for some soup, but Mako-chan, before that I need to address something pretty serious with you. I need you to go get my clothes, because I'm kinda naked here. I lifted the blanket lightly, my eyes shifting their gaze downwards when my face turned from a blushing state downright into a perfect imitation of a tomato. Though my thoughts were on my own predicament, I couldn't help but notice that Mako seemed to lean a little to one side, trying to peek under the blanket, which only made me blush even more. I think I'm going to stay under the blanket for a bit. Could you please bring back my clothes? Ah, but you might make only Sama if you stay here awake. But if you insist, fine. I'll go get your clothes. You're no fun. I wanted to see what a human looks like, and only Sama forbid me from peeking. Thank God for that. Please, just hurry. The girl almost skipped to the door, giggling to herself. The door slid open, and she hopped outside for a moment, vanishing behind the paper screen. Once I confirmed that Machiko had left the room to grab my clothes, I turned my gaze sideways, focusing back on the peaceful expression of the slumbering kitsune. For a moment, I thought back about the things I heard in the village, about how those girls were supposed to be evil, spirits, and troublemakers. No! Surely stealing underwear isn't exactly a nice thing to do, but when I look at her like this, I can't picture anything but a normal girl. I know. Well, she was a normal girl anyway, minus the ears and tail. And again, that doesn't really matter. While the temptation to lift the blanket was strong, I felt a little nervous about the thought. Still, as much as I tried to hold myself back, I couldn't resist the temptation of turning to my side to get a better glimpse of her. Gingerly, my hand shaking slightly, I reached forward to take hold of the blanket. No, Takahiro. Neither a gentleman or a hero peeks at a sleeping lady. Exactly. And yet, who wouldn't? Especially with her. Who are you kidding? This is a once-in-a-lifetime chance. Let's all salute the man here. In the end, the perverted little devil within me won the mortality struggle, and with shaken hands, I reached forward and tried to lift the blanket. Oh no! We woke her up! Oh, damn it. Pain. Maybe not. Stop! Yikes! I don't want any blackberries. Oh, thank God, it was just a dream. My heart was pounding against my chest. My head was spinning round as I dropped the blanket. She was still dreaming, mumbling away in her sleep, but she had frightened the living daylights out of me. Machiko-chan returned and deposited my now dry clothes in my lap. She smiled at me and lingered for a few moments, as if expecting me to begin changing. Oh, of course, the soup. I'll go get it now. But don't change too slowly. I bet you'd hate me coming in and sneaking a peek. Never expected a guy to take as much time changing as a girl. It's a fundamental law among peeping toms and tammies. Wait. You were planning to peek on me? I realised now that perhaps Machiko was more alike to her sister than I had expected. Heh, it sure sounds like you've got experience at peeking on people, Takahiro. And, well, maybe I was thinking about it. I'm kind of curious what the difference is between us kitsune and humans. Like, it was amazing how easily you carried Oni-sama out of the water. Is it because you're human? I don't have any experience peeking on people. Also, I think it might be more because I'm a guy. We tend to be stronger than girls. And that's not sexist before sexist comments come in. Not to mention I practice judo, so it would be awkward if I can't carry a girl like a sister. Judo? Judo. It's a sport of sorts. Albeit, it's also known as a method to protect yourself and others. Is that why you tried to save Oni-sama? Well, that's not really what judo is about. Ultimately, saving a damsel under stress is all about a man's pride. Oh, then you can show me your man's pride. Oh, no. And just what exactly are you trying to see, my little sister? Oni-sama, it wasn't, that's not true. The soup's still cooking. I need to tend to it. Oh my lord. The youngest kitsune scrambled to her feet and dashed out of the room at high speed, her tail comically hanging between her legs as she did so. I turned to Machiko, blushing faintly, averting my eyes abruptly so she could pull the sheets back up around herself. Ah, I see you finally woke up, Machiko-chan. With you two hollering about judo and soup, how could I possibly remain asleep? I'm glad to see you are well, Takakun. Forgive me for taking such measures, but I feared that I was losing temperature too quickly, and I needed to warm in a hurry. At least it is more enjoyable to sleep than you would have had in the cell. I doubt the Tsunda tyrant, was it, would give you the same service. Oh, let's just say that the hospitality was appreciated. I'm glad to hear that. If you would like to change, there is a screen just over there. I shall avert my eyes while you walk, of course. I guess one of us has to do it. Oh, by God. While I watched Machiko close her eyes, hands covering her face as if she tried to reassure me she wouldn't peek, she's peeking, I climbed from under the blanket and made my way toward the clothes. Picking them up, and as soon as I reached the paper screen, started changing. If you could be so good, my robes should be upon the dresser. Could you pass them to me over the screen? It will speed matters greatly. Sure. Let me give them to you. After looking around for a moment, I found the... Oh my God. After mentioned robes nicely folded up on the dressed... My heart... folded up on the dresser, probably. My heart skipping a beat as I took a hold of them and turned toward the screen. To hand them over, musing softly. Say, Machiko-chan, how come you two were causing trouble in the village? You two don't look like bad people to me. Well, it is a touch compliment. Mako was researching a spell she wanted to perform, one that would allow us easier access to certain things we need, and one of the ingredients was a maiden silk. Oh, the only silk I could think of was, well, you experienced firsthand earlier. Maiden silk? I guess I understand why you thought of that, but isn't maiden silk another term for weddings, for a wedding sash? It is in my world, at least. As I said, the woman appeared around the side of the screen. I never knew that. What did you not know, Onisama? The maiden silk. It is a wedding sash. All of our work was for naught. Oh, well, at least it's easier to get it. I'll just have to marry Takakun. Oh, what? A few minutes later. ... After that little incident, we finally gathered inside the room that, judging from the layout, was the kitchen to have Mako soup. Despite the younger Kitsune's easy-going attitude, humming some cheerful melody, I found my cheeks still burning a little from embarrassment. To think a girl would tell me such a thing. Quickly shaking my head to clear the thoughts from my mind, I turned toward the elder sister of the duo. The soup is delicious. Is Mako-chan the one who usually cooks in the household? In this, right? Yay, I'm glad you like it, Takahiro. I don't usually cook, so I made a few lucky guesses. It is rather delicious, Mako-chan. Perhaps you could do more cooking from now on. It would allow me more time to lounge around. Well, the first step to getting your wedding sash is to become a good housewife, and that includes cooking. I added a little in amusement to Machiko's comment while I took a sip from the soup. For a few lucky guesses, this dish came out pretty well. That's true. I'll learn how to do all the cleaning and I'll cook for you. And, I don't know what else, but it'll be fun learning. Are we serious about this? Mako, stop saying that. You know very well that it would be pointless for you to marry Takakun. The villagers do not know him, and despise us. They would never craft a wedding sash for us. That's not necessarily the case, Machiko-chan. It is clear you are not from this time or place. The village does not tolerate our existence. They hate us. They would never do us a favor for us. A favor for a favor. All we gotta do is find a way to make the village accept you both. But I'm afraid to be able to find out how to do that, I'm going to have to learn more about the village itself. The pale-haired woman shook her head slowly, her ears sinking down against her head as she did so. She's sad. It's not that simple. They would never trust us. Humans and kitsunes cannot get along in the long run. I am honestly surprised that you have tolerated us this long. Well, before the beautiful scene, I liked you. I liked you too. Yeah, you were both fine. You were hilarious as well. Panty thieves. I would be glad to be proved wrong, and you are free to stay here as long as you wish, until of course you grow weary of our ways and leave. Ah, I feel lonely. Oni-sama, please don't speak like that. Takahiro wouldn't do that. Would you, Takahiro? Of course not. Of course not. A girl like me wouldn't abandon someone just because they are of a different species. That's not the way Takahiro does things. However, I do recall a village elder telling me that it's not just kitsune. Humans and spirits have been on bad terms for as long as they can remember. It would be a good idea to discover why it became like that. I cannot recall. There is much information that is concealed even to someone like me. Most spirits keep to themselves these days. There are one or two exceptions, such as Tsuri, strong spirits who come and go as they please, but mostly they stay to their world. We cannot. We are stuck in the human world for better or for worse. Huh? I never knew that. Even I'm learning stuff now. Well, since Tsuri is said to dwell at the shrine within the forest, we could visit her for some ideas. Oh god. No. I get. She fancies her. She fancies her, I have a funny feeling. With that dream. Oof. You know what was going on in there. No, we don't need to go to see her. Absolutely not. No, I don't want to go see Tsuri. I don't want to go. I was slightly taken aback by the childish way of speaking that my Machiko suddenly used. It almost reminded me of when I used to be told I would have to visit the doctors as a child, complaining and throwing tantrums along the way. But she's the only one who would be able to provide the answers we seek. I don't want to go. Tsuri is a friend and a fiend, and I dislike the idea of spending time near her. She can't be that bad, and if anything happens, I'll protect you. Fine. If it really means that much to you, I will show you the way to the shrine. But you will enter the grounds alone. I don't want to go anywhere near her. You're on your own there, Takahiro. Can I come, Oni-sama? Absolutely not. I forbid it. You are not to come with us under any circumstances, Mako. Okay, Oni-sama. I'll stay here. Like you said, I'll be here in the mansion. All alone. Unprotected. All by myself. Who knows what might happen to me? I could get trapped under a bookcase and die. Or slip over a banana peel and die. Or get bored and die. Of boredom. Because I'd be so super duper bored sitting here alone in the same place I sit inside day in, day out. Yes, I get it. Fine, you can come along too. But you must be on your best behavior. Chibiko. No running around, no talking useless, and no talking unless spoken to. There we are. Hi! Still, despite the cheerful explanation of Mako, I couldn't help but wonder what happened between Machiko and this Tsuri for her to react so strongly. I mean, if Tsuri is an actual Japanese word or whatever, or if it isn't and it's just like the TS and U added on, then we got Yuri! Of course, little did I expect the answer to that question would soon be provided. But first I decided that it wouldn't be a bad idea to spend some time with the kitsune to get to know them a bit better. Well, I've got 2 weeks till I got to be back in my world. So there's no rush to meet this Tsuri yet. How about we do something else instead? I'm sure Machiko-chan will like the distraction. Well, anything to keep me from that place longer is good. How about you take Mako-chan and go fetch some dessert for us? There are oranges, apples, and small vineyard to the rear of the mansion, and I can whip up some cream to go with them if you would like. Sure, that sounds simple enough. Let's get us some delicious fruit, Mako-chan. Okay. As Mako led me toward the garden of the impressive mansion, she seemed a little quiet, like something was playing on her mind. I wanted to ask her what was up, but something about the way her ears sagged and her tail hung told me it wasn't the best idea, so I decided I would simply try to cheer her up. So which do you prefer, Mako-chan? Apples, grapes, or oranges? We can gather all three, but I bet we can sneak a few ourselves first. I guess apples. I knew a Kitsune spirit before, a friend of Oni-sama, who loved apples. I can't remember her name though. I guess my head's just a little bit hollow. Apples are pretty nice. Hard on the outside, sweet inside. And your head isn't hollow, silly. If that was the case, I'd say I would still be stuck in jail under the care of the Tsunda tyrant. Oni-chan did most of the thinking though. I just sort of went along with what she said. Well, someone has to take the lead. Besides, I'm still grateful for your help. All the same. How about... I playfully raised a hand to flick Mako's forehead and exclaimed with a grin. See? No hollow sound. I'm sure there's plenty of clever thoughts in that pretty head of yours. Ow, big meanie butt. But at least you're reassured now. Anyway, let's get those apples, shall we? Okay, I'll get them. You go grab the collecting bucket. Alright, let's get down to business. Exclaiming cheerfully, I went to grab one of the buckets that was near the apple trees and returned to Mako, who had started climbing into a tree. The girl looked like she was climbing well, but her handholds were risky at best. She began testing apples to see if they were ready to fall, holding on with just her legs. Mako-chan, be careful, you might slip. Ow, it hit your head. The girl had thrown an apple at me, and while my reflexes let me catch it with ease, the force behind it stung my palm a little. Of course I did play it up for the girl too. Haha, I'll be fine. Taka. Oh my god, Yachiro. We've got a nickname, Burzon. I wonder if she'll call the red-headed samurai girl Nellens. I've been climbing these trees all my life. Even the most experienced climbers end up getting in accidents if they aren't careful. Little Stark! Oh, I forgot his name. The one that was pushed out. My, what the hell is it? Yeah, Jaime Lannister. Bastard. I smiled weakly at the girl's excited attitude. Lowering the apple, I caught it into the bucket. You don't know what you're talking about. I'm a kitsune, a spirit. I won't fall. I'm super safe. Watch. I'll go for the apples near the top. Wait, Mako-chan. Unless you can fly, I don't think you should go for those. Fly? I can't do that, silly. Takahiro-sama. Whoever heard of a kitsune fly? Ah! Of course, just like I expected, the moment Mako tried to reach for one of the higher apples, the girl ended up losing her footing and with a loud cry of surprise tumbled down toward the ground. Mako! Quickly my reflexes kicked themselves into gear, trying to catch the girl before she fell onto the ground, but she fell on you. Unfortunately, I didn't keep in mind some of the apples that were scattered over the grass as a result, causing me to trip over them, and while I staggered, I was able to catch Mako before my imbalance caused the two of us to drop straight onto the ground. My head was throbbing once I had recovered from the spill. I moved to sit up, but found myself pinned by a small but substantial weight. Oh my! Okay, well, this episode has been going on long enough. I will see you in episode 5. Good day.